Howdy buckaroos, Jeffrey K. Howard here, the Vegas film critic, here to review I Saw the Light, the Hank Williams story. And I'm not a country music fan, per se. The original country music, the stuff from the Grand Ole Opry and all the old-time classics, you know, from the 30s and the 40s, I think that is classic country music. Today, it's more like rock and roll. You know, I just don't identify with it. My sister and a lot of my family like that modern country. But when I think of like Patsy Cline and I think of Hank Williams, I think of all these guys, that is what country music is to me. It's such an American art form. And now modern country music is just, you know, it just sounds like rock and roll to me. But I'm here to talk about I Saw the Light, the Hank Williams biopic. And this is the first biopic for Hank Williams. Back in 1964, we had George Hamilton in Your Cheatin' Heart. And if you're a fan of classic film like I am, and you watch Turner Classic Movies, I watch Your Cheatin' Heart maybe 3 or 4 times a year. It's that good. And they also had the family behind that version in 1964. And Hank Williams Jr. recorded all of the soundtrack, you know, for George Hamilton to lip sync. So now we have this new biopic, which I did a lot of research. I don't understand why we need a new biopic with Hank Williams. Maybe just to update it, maybe to do a different perspective than what happened in Your Cheatin' Heart. And the casting is what blew me away. Tom Hiddleston, yes, Loki from the Avengers and from Thor. It's like, wait a minute, what in the world? This guy's English. How in the world is he going to play off a Southern Kentucky, Tennessee twang, you know, singing and just that casting really confused me. And Tom Hiddleston in interviews, you know, he was on Stephen Colbert, he's been on everyone doing all the promotions for this, never picked up a guitar before, never sang before, and, you know, really didn't know who Hank Williams was. So I'm like, well, how in the world can this be good casting? And you know what? Unbelievable. He can play the guitar, he can sing, almost channeling Hank Williams, and also his voice is amazing. It really is. The film opens, the opening credits of him singing a song just with a spotlight on him and setting the mood for this movie. And if you don't know Hank Williams, you know, unless you're from the South, you probably don't know, or you're a big classic country fan. This man, I got my notes over here because I don't want to forget, 35 top 10 singles. He started his career when he was 23 years old, and he had this amazing rise to stardom and died at 29. Alcohol. Drugs and alcohol. Always the greats are taken by alcohol. That's why I don't drink. I hate alcohol. I really hate it. And not because, you know, my family has alcohol. We just never drank. And I just don't drink whatsoever. So it's painful to watch these incredibly talented people. Spencer Tracy is another one that I think of off the top of my head. Humphrey Bogart. All these people drank consistently, and it destroyed them. And Hank Williams' music, listen to some of these hits he had. If I can read my writing here. Hey, good looking. Your Cheatin' Heart. I'm so lonesome I could cry. You know, he was known as the Hillbilly Elvis. You know, that's how successful he was in the 1950s. And Hank Williams' music, and this is what I think is a really true American art form, in addition to jazz, is that the music was about, you know, his relationships, about his depression, about how, you know, his life and misery. I mean, everything in his songs is just about reflecting what's going on in his inner turmoil inside him. And I just think that this music just spoke to a lot of people, and it also shows what the demons that Hank Williams was channeling, you know, that he was suffering. And the movie really focuses more on his personal life. I know Your Cheatin' Heart did that in 1964, but I wish I had more of his career. You know, I wish I had more of Hank Williams, the singing star, kind of balanced with his home life. You know, because he was cheating on his wife. He was drinking himself to an early grave. So all of that, the family stuff really kind of was overbeared the most of the film. I wanted more of the Hank Williams, the country star. So I didn't think it was that balanced enough. I thought it was a little too much on the home life. But Tom Hiddleston is absolutely amazing. I mean, just incredible. And here's a movie that came out in what, March, April of 2016. And hopefully, you know, award season coming up in December, they'll remember Tom Hiddleston in this movie. So if you want to know about the classic, incredible country music star of Hank Williams, and done by a great performance from an Englishman, from a Londoner, check out I Saw the Light. What a great song that is, too. Oh, gosh. I come from a Protestant Christian family, and so I Saw the Light, all my grandparents, everybody knew that song. Everybody sang it, so I know it well. So the movie really impressed me, especially with Tom Hiddleston. Very, very good performances. All right, for more reviews and interviews, just surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Also, check out my podcast on iTunes. And if you like what you see, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe, comment below, share, thumbs up. I'm Jeffrey K. Howard. I'll see you next time.